nomination of a new INEC chairman has drawn mixed reactions. Opposition figures alleging partisanship and the public questioning electoral integrity ahead of the future polls. What's your assessment of the process that led to the appointment of this new INEC chairman?
See, the new INEC chairman might very well be the younger brother of Angel Gabriel. But given the fact that he was nominated by Bola Tinubu, the doyen of election rigging in Nigeria, beneficiary of the fraud of 2023, I have no doubt whatsoever on my mind that the man is already compromised. No doubt whatsoever. Let me, however, say this. His capacity to compromise the coming election is completely in the hands of Nigerians, both the politicians and the electorate. I know as a fact from 2023 that if the people are invested in the system and they are willing to stand up behind their vote, not just, I'm not talking about merely voting, if they would defend their vote, this ruling class is a cowardly class. If the people will stand behind their vote, they will fold. 1,000 of them will not dare to stand against the people. How many places were people camped during en-masse? Only Lackey toll gate and Alausa, and they were already panicking, bringing out soldiers. Imagine if we were camped in 36 states of the Federation. Just be camped in 36 different locations. How many soldiers are you going to send around? Mobilize the people behind common cause and let genuine, honest leaders emerge who can mobilize the people behind common cause. And then I triple dare whoever Tinubu cares to make the INEC chairman that he has appointed somebody who he has not already compromised. If he could not compromise him, he would never have appointed him. He would not be in his character to do any such thing.
Does the current National Assembly have enough sufficient oversight capacity, sir?
You know, you're actually a man who has very little guile. Because all of a sudden you began to qualify your question. You said the current National Assembly. The reality is that we don't have a National Assembly. You have an assembly of Tinubu's lackeys. Is it not the same one headed by Akpabio? Would Akpabio dare to do anything other than what he is told by Tinubu? So, which National Assembly? The one where they sing on his mandates they shall sit. Is that not the one you are calling National Assembly? There is nothing nationalistic about that parasitic assembly of crooks. Absolutely nothing nationalistic about them. So I'm sorry, you don't have a National Assembly.
The new INEC chairman, capable of conducting a free and fair election in 2027? Do you believe that Tinubu actually nominated Josiah Amupitan to conduct a free and fair election in 2027? Is that your belief? Also, do you agree with Dele Farotimi when he said that we don't have a National Assembly, we have an assembly of parasitic lackeys for Bola Tinubu, meaning that we have assemblymen who are Tinubu's errand boys? Is that what you would take this 10th assembly headed by Gospel Akpabio to be? Because when we look at the National Assembly and we see how they've been co-opted into becoming part of Tinubu's government, rather than performing oversight on the executive, one will come to a conclusion that seems similar to what Dele Farotimi described the 10th Assembly to be, wouldn't it? Because as long as Tinubu was the one that nominated Josiah Amupitan, would you not consider that to be already compromised? Because in Dele Farotimi's words, if Tinubu could not have compromised him, he wouldn't have appointed him. And if you want to foreshadow what will come in 2027, in the 2027 election, the first election conducted by Josiah Amupitan, which is the Anambra election, would give you an indication of what the 2027 election will look like. And the Anambra off-cycle election was one that was plagued with a lot of vote buying, rigging, intimidation. But yet, Soludo was declared the governor of Anambra again. Amidst serious complaints, observers made sure they made that clear that the electoral system is still poor. So do you then take this example of Anambra state election and say that 2027 will be better than this? Remember, when they did 2023 election, every off-cycle election that followed after that has been compromised and corrupt. Edo State was one of them. So how would you then not conclude with Dele Farotimi to say that he cannot trust the fact that Amupitan may be able to conduct a free and fair election because he believes that he's already compromised? These are simple logical examples that you can take, transpose them, and use that to find out what will happen, analytically speaking, in elections to come, especially the 2027 election. So I've said all of this about the the new INEC chairman, based on what Dele Farotimi said. The question now for the 10th Assembly to you, isn't this an assembly of corrupt minds, co-opted by this current executive to do their biddings? Dele Farotimi described the 10th Assembly as a parasitic assembly. Tinubu's lackeys, he called them Tinubu's errand boys. They do all what Tinubu wants. After all, the entire world watched them as they sang on Tinubu's mandate they want to fall or sit down in the House of the People, where they meant to be performing oversight. But yet they all stood up and raised their hand and they sang towards Tinubu, like, "Hail the Emperor," in the House of the People. So would you consider that same National Assembly a National Assembly that represents the interests of Nigerians? These are big, poignant questions that we have to take into account. Because if you see this National Assembly, since 2023, when this 10th Assembly started, can you point one serious conversation they've had? One serious conversation in this 10th Assembly that mattered towards the furtherance of good governance in Nigeria? No serious dialogue. Everything is rushed. Everything is rushed. And it's been one controversy after another controversy. So when Dele Farotimi described this 10th Assembly, headed by Akpabio, as one that is described as parasitic, meaning that they're leeching on Nigerians, but obviously describe them as Tinubu's lackeys, meaning that they're running errands for Tinubu, not performing oversight. Are you going to be able to dispute that claim? Well, I think the biggest question here, the biggest question for all of us is what Dele Farotimi said. As a people, we should be able to say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We need to be able to galvanize ourselves, sensitize ourselves. This is what this video is all about. Let's galvanize ourselves, sensitize ourselves, get people ready so that they know that in 2027 they have to vote, sit there, defend their vote. Because this government has weaponized poverty so much so they know that all they need to do is give the people 10,000 naira, and that's it, they bought their votes, and they can steal them for another 4 years again. The system is the same. During election, they will send in people to come and cause mayhem. They'll send in their thugs to come and cause mayhem. The likes of MC Oluomo, those ones in Edo State, in Delta State, all over the country, they have those thugs. They've armed them with machetes to cause havoc. But if the people decide to say enough is enough, listen, look at what happened in Nepal. Look at what happened in Tanzania. Nobody can do this battle for us as a people. We Nigerians are going to be the ones to speak up and continue to sensitize others. Because if we don't do that, we will suffer the consequences. It's not a story that we've not seen play out before. We're talking the National Assembly or 10th Assembly that has credibility crisis, leadership issues, For example, Akpabio tainted with a lot of corruption allegation, rubber stamping all of Tinubu's whatever Tinubu wants, coupled with their lavish spending in the midst of this massive poverty going on in the country, in their lack of transparency. We're not even talking about them not performing oversight and making sure that the executive give account for the things that's more borrowing monies. See the political defections happening like ping pong here every day because politicians want to save their assets, but Nigerians are the ones suffering it. So we cannot say we're praying for solution. We have to bring out the solution. If you work in an office, you don't go and say, let's pray for the solution to come. You sit down there, think about the solution, you work it out, and you start to act it up. In this Nigeria, we try to wait for God to give us all the answers. He's giving us the answers. We're just being dormant. We don't want to make sure we put our, speak up. Sensitize your brothers, your sisters, so they know that in 2027, they cannot sell their vote. If you've been feeding since 2023 in this hardship, do you then need to sell your vote in 2027? Dele Farotimi was right. Nobody can speak up for us. We have to do the same thing. Let's gather and galvanize ourselves towards a common cause. And that common cause will be to get a better Nigeria. And it starts with voting out corrupt politicians. See what Wike did with the soldier the other day. The Navas staff. Guy stood up and said it's enough. And Wike ran away with his tails between his legs. That's the same thing we need to do. The bullies will not stop until you rise up to fight them. And our politicians are bullies. They're ready. The question is, are we ready? So again, I asked you this question before. Amupitan, the new INEC chairman, do you think is not compromised? This 10th assembly, are they representing us or are they representing Bola Tinubu? Put your comment in the comment section. Let's have our dialogue. Do you agree with Dele Farotimi's take? Do you agree with this analysis? And do you think that we have a national assembly? What is your take? But please don't forget to like this content, like this video, like this channel, subscribe if you've not done so by supporting us. You do that by supporting us. Recommend this channel to others, but put your comments in the comment section. That's more important. But don't forget, the conversation is for me and you to pass on to others so that we can build a better Nigeria. We deserve it. I'll catch you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.